Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent, and I'm in Carlsbad, California, actually on State Street. And it's Friday night, or Saturday night, so things are a little bit busy, more busy than they usually are. A lot of people out going to different restaurants and different bars. There's a couple bars down here around the corner, so I'll walk around a little bit while I talk about Bitcoin. What I want to talk about tonight, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, is can buying Bitcoin or investing in Bitcoin replace your job? Or replace you starting a business or doing something like that? Because as I stated yesterday, I almost got run over by something. I don't know what that was. I guess it was a bike. That was close. Got to pay attention to what I'm doing. So like I said yesterday, with inflation being as high as it is, producers or people that are trying to start businesses or do something that requires a lot of capital outlay, they're being punished right now with inflation, because inflation rises, and the more that you purchase, like if you're buying a business and you're buying equipment or you're buying supplies for the business, you're really getting nailed with this inflation, because all that is going to go into the operation of the business or the overhead of the business. And that's why, I grew up on a farm in western Nebraska, and one of the reasons you couldn't make it on the farm is because the input costs were so high. So you bought everything at retail and you sold everything at wholesale. So when you're farming, you couldn't make any money because your input costs were just too high, and everybody was raising prices. So your fertilizer costs, your seed costs, everything were going up every year, and then you couldn't control what you got for the crops that you were raising. So at the end of the day, you just couldn't make it. You were out of business. And the only people that did make it are the people that got the government subsidies. So the government stepped in and of course saved farming, and of course they're doing it to this day. And I think that's what's going to happen with the general public. They're going to have to step in and start helping people out with stimulus payments or some sort of payment to help people stay so they can continue to survive in this economy. Because if you're not getting some stimulus payment or some sort of help, the government, by taking away the buying power of your money through inflation, is leaving you without much opportunity to exist. So what I was thinking about, people buying Bitcoin, holding on to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin hopefully, has been able to beat inflation. It brings back a bigger return than what what you're losing through inflation. And with the appreciation of Bitcoin, you can start to, you can actually make more money than you can by working at a job. And just think about this. Back in November, Bitcoin was around, $30,000. Or October, November last year is $30,000. Now it's $60,000. Well, the average person only makes maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year. So in 6 months, you've doubled what it is that you invested. So you've made $30,000 on your Bitcoin investment in the last 6 months. So you wouldn't have to touch your Bitcoin, and you would be able to have a short-term capital gain of $30,000, which is half of what, or almost a little more than half of what most people make in this country. The average household income, probably $50,000, $60,000. You could have made in the last 6 months on Bitcoin if you'd have bought it in October, November, and held it till today. You'd be up about $30,000. So is the new way of surviving in this world own Bitcoin? And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of precedents for this. Look at Michael Saylor. The reason Michael Saylor got into Bitcoin is because he said that he couldn't do anything with the money that he had on his balance sheet from MicroStrategies that could bring a big enough return that he could continue to operate the business and keep it solvent. So his thing was, hey, I got to put the money someplace, and it brings back enough of a return that I can make the shareholders of MicroStrategies, the appreciation has to be appreciation in the stock, so the shareholders don't get upset and sell the stock. So the only way you could do that is to invest in tech companies. So he's invested in all these tech companies like Amazon and Google and these companies, and he'd been doing that for previous 10 years till he found Bitcoin. But the tech stocks quit bringing back returns. So then that's how he discovered Bitcoin. He says, I got to get bigger returns back for my money. I'm not making it by just operating the company MicroStrategies. I have to do something with the money to bring back a bigger return for my shareholders. And the only thing I can do now is to invest in other things and other businesses that are doing better than my business. So that's how he found Bitcoin. So he found Bitcoin because and he's done very well. Now Bitcoin's bringing back bigger returns, and returns that he needs in order to keep his shareholders happy. So I'm going to flip the screen around here really fast so I can walk across. Okay, I can't do that. I got the light on. That's not going to work. So Got to watch out what I'm doing when it run over. People don't watch for you around here, man. They'll just run your ass over anytime, any place, and they won't even care about it. So yeah, I think a lot of businesses, a lot of companies are going to start purchasing Bitcoin and put Bitcoin on their balance sheet as the hedge for inflation. So this is a great strategy for a lot of people, a lot of businesses, and it will be for a lot of people. So how nice would that be in the future, that all you have to do is buy Bitcoin, and you can do as well as if you're working at a job or starting a business. All you need to do is buy Bitcoin. Own Bitcoin, and you will do better than you will do if you work at a job or own a business. I want to show you this ice cream place right up here. The name of the place is Handles, and they sell ice cream. A little bit of side note here about Carlsbad. And the ice cream pretty good. I'd say it's above average. It's not the greatest ice cream I've ever had, but it's not the worst by a long stretch. But they get this line every single night, and they're so slow behind the counter. I mean, they have some young people working there. And here we go back to the fact of how much people want to put effort into their jobs. When you're being paid, and they're getting paid $20 an hour now in California with minimum wage, but it's not a job that's going to make or break you for the rest of your life. So how much effort you put into it. But generally, they only put a few people behind the counter, and they make these long lines. And so you literally got to spend 45 minutes to an hour waiting for an ice cream, which is ridiculous. And I often wonder how in the world, maybe that's a marketing strategy. Just put a bunch of people in front of the ice cream store, and everybody says, hey, it's so busy, the ice cream must be that good. People are willing to wait 45 minutes to an hour, but it isn't that good. And look at tonight, look at the line, and they got one person working behind the counter. They got 3 windows open and only one person working. That's the way it goes every single night. They don't even care about the people in line. They just don't care about the people in line. They only care about, I don't know what they care about. So anyway, I'll march on. Got a lot of people looking at me funny because I'm taking their picture. So you'd think in a day of age of cameras and cell phones and social media, nobody really care that you're doing a video. So anyway, hopefully people can start investing in Bitcoin and not have to worry about working at a place like that. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.